Afternoon everyone. It's 10th of April and it's me again, BigFriendlyWarGamer, or Gareth to my friends and family and stuff. I'll do another one of my sit and talks. I've been doing these a long time now. I think this is like number 21 or something. I've been doing it for quite a while. So I'm going to have a quick sweep of what I've got on my desk, as I always do. Get the super glue out of the way. That doesn't need to be there. So I'm working on my world eaters at the moment. These blue and white guys. Let's pan the camera up a little bit. It's a bit better. And they're coming on fairly well. These guys. They're not quite finished yet. I've still got some work to do on them, but they get in there. And I've got 5 of them to quite a good stage so far. I've got to paint the skin on some of them. And then I've got 5 more, which some are paint the white is done and some it isn't. We've also got these 5 Marines, which will be world eaters as well. They're going to be a support squad with probably plasma guns, but we'll see. And then we've still got Lone Grimlar. He's not finished. We got Sigmund, who's not finished, but he's getting close. We got the Dark Oath War Queen, who again isn't finished. I did some work on her last week, so her cloaks come up quite nice. She's getting quite close to being finished. You might be able to see these guys here. I've got 3 Predators. They're basically tanks. I built them at the weekend. I've been putting them off building them for quite a while, and I just thought it was about time I did them. Just grab a bit of a drink. So yeah, that's basically all I've got on my desk. So I'm going to get to painting, and we'll see where this goes. So my week has been pretty uneventful. It's been a bit. I haven't got much painting done because of looking after my nephews. It's school holidays. So I didn't get much painting done last week. I've got these 5 guys who are close to being finished. Excuse me. And we've got nephews again twice this week, but that's okay. So again, I'm not going to get a lot of painting done, but I may get a little bit done. I want to get these 5 at least finished this week, and crack on to the other 5 later at the weekend. But yeah, it's work was okay. It's normal. I actually have got the week off next week for reasons, and I can reveal a bit more hopefully the week after next, but we'll see. You might be able to see on, well, you can't actually see because the camera's not in the right position. That's a bit better. I'm just putting a shade on the flesh of these guys. It's quite easy to do, although I've picked the wrong brush to do it, but there we go. That's him, and I've got to do this one. But yeah, next week I'm off all week. I'm in Nottingham for the day on Wednesday. And then I've got more or less a free week, although on the Saturday I've got my mate's little girl's christening, which I'm going to. Bit nervous about it, but it should be okay. And yeah, I went to the club last night and had a game with my Necrons. My first game was since their codex came out, and they are very powerful. But again, it depends how you play them. And the guy I played, I actually recorded the game, so there will be a video battle report going up when I get to edit it, because it's not done the same way as the last one, where it was static camera, recorded the whole game. This one is, I was recording the turns, stopping the camera. So it's in bits and pieces. It's 26 different clips. So I will have to edit them and put them all together, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Is that dry? Nearly. So I'm gonna put these guys to one side for a minute because they're more or less done. They don't need much else doing on them, apart from a little bit of gold, but that's fine. I would actually say these guys are finished. Maybe they might need a little bit more work on them. We'll see. These guys definitely are close. They need their skin highlighted. That guy needs his weapons. Need the shade on the axe done, and then they're more or less there. Their backpacks are ready to go on. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get them finished by the weekend, but no guarantees. So we're going to start. Let's get some more. Let's see if we can get Sixman finished, because it's been bugging me that he's still sitting on my desk. So what I'm going to do with him? What am I going to do with him? So as you can see, his colour scheme stands out. He's in the same kind of armour, but it stands out quite differently to my guys. This is a commission job. So let's see if I can actually get him finished today. What I want to do... no, actually I need that. I need to dry brush it a bit. See, I would go with white, but I think I need to go with the grey instead because my white is rubbish. So this is just an idea I had. I hope this works because this isn't my model. What we're going to do is a little bit of dry brushing on his sword. I've got my really small dry brush, so I don't want to do a lot of this. Okay, and all I want to do is give his sword like almost like an edge highlight, but I need to pick out the actual wording on his sword. Yeah, it's not come out exactly as I wanted, but that should be okay. I'll do the same with the other side, need a bit more paint. So yeah, my game at the club last night went quite well. I won't tell you how because it will ruin the battle report once I've put it up. And I've got another game, Necrons versus Necrons, arranged for next week. And I'm actually playing. I've committed to playing in a tournament in June. I don't generally do tournaments. It's not my thing. But I'm going to give it a go. And I actually started a written blog, and it's going to basically outline my ideas for the army and stuff like that. So it should be cool. I mean, it's a 2-day event, and it's at my local club, so it's not like it's well out of my way or anything like that. I've got to book the Friday off work, maybe, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. The thing is with this Sigismund model is I keep spotting pieces on it that I've missed. So I've just spotted another piece, but it's okay, I can get that done, it shouldn't be a problem. What's the time? It's 1:20. So this might be a shorter video than normal, only because I'm recording it so late in the day, and I've got to get ready for work and stuff. So yeah. So what was I going to do? I was going to do his scripts work, which I haven't quite finished yet. And he's got like a green. I've got to do his skin as well. So let's do his skin. Where are we? We want them two. And and I'm going to put a bit more effort into his skin than I do with my guys. You'll see why in a minute, and you'll see how in a minute maybe. So he's been base layered on his head. He's had his head base layered even. So, and shaded. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the first layer, and then whereas I wouldn't normally do this, I'm going to do a first layer in shade again, and then I'll do the last layer in shade again, and then I'll do the final layer. Huh? Last layer? Yeah, okay. I know what I'm talking about. Because this is a specialist model, and it's not mine, it's for someone else. I don't normally go into this extreme with my stuff, so, but we will here. It's a nice bald head. It's actually, I don't understand why all Space Marines seem to have bald heads, but there you go. But yeah, the club last night was cool. I didn't go till a bit later than normal, because I only had one game arranged and it was in the evening. Next week I'll be there from 1 o'clock, so I'll be there all day because I've got 2 games arranged. And both with my Necrons, because I've got to learn the army. Like, I know I've been playing them a little bit while the index has been out, but the codex has made them a very different enemy to face and army to learn. So I need to put a bit more effort into actually learning my rules. So I will probably, on the quiet nights I've got at work, which will be tonight probably and Thursday, I'm probably going to take my codex with me to read, just so I can brush up on the actual rules for the army. I actually went through, I've been rereading some of the rule book for 40k. I'm just picking out some of the little problems that have cropped up with 40k, and people just like not reading the rules properly. I mean, I'm guilty of it as well, but I think I'm there now with the rules that I was screwing up, mainly because I needed to clarify the rapid fire rules for weapons. Some weapons, each weapon has a different type. Some are pistols, some are heavy weapons, some are rapid fire weapons, some are assault weapons. I think that's about it. And rapid fire weapons, if you're in half range, you can fire twice. You can shoot, doubles your shots basically. And now, because of the dynasty I'm using for my Necrons, when I'm at half range, so when I'm in rapid fire range, my armor penetration goes up by 1, or goes down by, yeah, up by 1. So my basic Necron warriors become AP -2, which is really, really big. And then you're looking at like the Immortals, Gauls weapons become AP -3 at half range, and yeah, they become really quite anti-armor, which is cool. Something I've struggled to deal with is armor in the past with my Necrons, so I'm quite happy with that. And then like you got the assault weapons, which are like the Tesla stuff in there. Assault 2, the Tesla on the Immortals, and then at half range they become AP -1, which for Horde armies is now awesome. Yeah, it just rips Horde armies to pieces, so really, really nice. Get some sand with dust and do that little bit of parchment. So I posted a thing on the club page, this paint is nearly finished, about the bank holidays in May. I'm arranging a Heresy Apocalypse game. It is really nearly finished, this paint. I'm organising an Apocalypse 40k game as well for one of the bank holidays, and a Heresy game for the other. And I ran a poll on the page, and it turns out that more people want the Heresy game on the 7th, which so is what we're doing, and the 40k Apocalypse on the 24th, I think it is. So the Heresy Apocalypse, I haven't got a theme to it yet, or a narrative or anything, but the 40k one is going to be Tyranids against everyone else. So it's going to be a meat grinder. So basically Tyranids respawn and they just have to kill the enemy. That's all they have to do. It may actually be quite a hard mission for the Tyranids to win, but we'll see. We will see. At the moment I haven't got names down as to who's in it for either of the games, but just running them two will put me at the target I wanted for the big games that I wanted to run this year, which I'm very happy with that. So yeah, it should be cool. It should be very cool. Because when I ran the two at Easter, well, the Heresy one I didn't really run. I didn't organise either. But they both ran really well, really smoothly. There was minimal hiccups, and the only rule that I've got wrong was that my command barge has an in-run save, and it doesn't. But that's okay. We're going to... So Sigsmund's had his... where's the shade? I did get the shade out, there it is. So what I'm going to do now is he's had his first layer done, and I'm just going to thin down some shade to make it almost like a glaze, and then I'm going to give him another all over his face shade. So it means I probably won't be able to finish him today, but that's okay. We can use, let's use my shade, my wash brush. It should be okay and not get everywhere. I think I'm going to have to look at getting a new set of brushes, because mine are starting to fall apart a little bit. He's got like these, I'm not sure what they're called, they're like the golden leaves that people wear, kings and all that used to wear around their heads. Not a crown as such, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'll have to go back and paint that once I've finished his face. And it's just weird because his face is going to look really a lot better than my World Eater ones, but it's okay. And these World Eaters are going in for a painting competition that I'm entering at my club. I'm not expecting to win, because frankly I just want to get these guys finished, because I haven't put a lot of effort into painting over the past month or so. Having got ahead of myself in March, it kind of slowed my painting down a little bit. And as much as I would love to get ahead of myself, because I got my target for the year, yeah, I'd love to get ahead of myself, but I don't know if it's a bad thing, because I tend to get complacent then, and then think, oh, I could not paint this month, and stuff like that, and waste more time playing PlayStation and my Super Nintendo and stuff like that. But I want to get ahead because I've got a big project I want to work on, and once I start work on that, I don't want to stop it until it's finished. But it will mean that I'll get no painting done. So I want to hit my target for the year, and then I want to make a start on that big project. Which, if any of you are from the club, you probably know what it is. Begins with a T and ends with Iton. So yeah, and I want to get that built and painted by the end of the year. I can't guarantee that I'll do it, but I want to try. So I can use it in big games. I can use it in Apocalypse games for next year. But next year's a different target. I'm getting way ahead of myself. So yeah, I'm just finishing the shade off on his axe. This guy's axe. These axes are taller than the Marines. The Marines are like 8 or 9 foot tall. These guys are supposed to be. And the axes are much bigger than that. They're like 10 or 11 foot long. Really nice. What I am going to do is those 3 world eaters that I'm near to finishing. I'm going to give them another little bit of a glaze of flesh shed, just to tone down the skin a little bit. So yeah, like I've been saying, I haven't finished any models this month yet. It's the 10th, and I'm not far away from having some finished. So I will get some stuff done this month. I want to hit 20 for the month, because then I'm on target to hit my target for the year. So I'm going to just go over these guys' faces, just dull them down a little bit, because they're a bit too bright for my liking. I know their faces are weird. The expressions on them and stuff, but yeah, they're just troopers. They're not they are a specialist squad, but they're not a character or anything. So that's why I don't think they've put as much effort into their faces as they have character models. But that's okay. Big dome head. Yeah, I tend to do this with flesh. Is you do a little glaze after it, and it just tones down the skin a little bit. It doesn't actually show very much until it's dry. It's like looking at Sigismund here. His flesh has almost gone back to where it was before I put the layer on. Not quite, but it's nearly there. Actually looking quite cool. So we're going to do, let's have a look at my wall chart. So we want some Seraphim Sepia. I'm just going to put a little bit of a glaze on the parchments on his armour. Not a glaze, a shade, sorry. I do need a smaller brush for this, because my wash brush won't work, it'll be too big. But yeah, I've been watching Mini Wargaming's Dark Heresy quite a lot. That's been really quite entertaining. I was also watching the 30k battle reports that they were doing while I was painting over the weekend, which have been cool as well. Right, so back to his sword. This is going to sound a bit weird, but I'm going to give it a black shade. I know I've just literally done an edge highlight on it, or dry brush, but the sword needs to have a bit of a glow to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use non-oil on it, just to pull the dry brushing back a little bit, and then I'm going to give it a bit of a blue glaze. So his sword's going to stand out, because it's going to have quite almost like metallic shine to it. You don't want to overdo it. I think that's enough. I'm really looking forward to when this is done and off my table. It's not been a hard model to do. It's just I want to get projects done. I need to get back on my Necrons because I've got the tournament that I'm playing in. I've got to have the army painted and ready. And from the army that I'm thinking about putting down, I've got to paint 24 models. This isn't a lot. There's 20 warriors, 2 death marks I believe, and the 2 Doomsday Arcs. The Doomsday Arcs are the problem because I hate painting Necron vehicles, but I'll get there because they're not far off being done anyway, so it shouldn't be too hard. So now we're going to do, let's see if the shade on these guys are finished. Yeah, the shade's dry. So we're going to go back to the flesh on the World Eaters. Let's put some of these paints over here because I don't need them in my way at the moment. This is one problem I'm finding a lot of at the moment. I'm short of space. Part of the reason why I probably haven't got as much painting done, as well as the fact that I've been with my nephews a lot, is that because I've got a small amount of space for all my stuff that I own, and don't get me wrong, I've got a fairly big room, but it's not big enough for what I need. So I end up with like boxes of models on my chair and my desk, so every time I want to go and paint I've got to clear my desk off and clear my chair off, and when it sounds silly to say when you want to paint, but the easier thing is to just not spend the 10 or 15 minutes clearing your desk off and whatever and just sticking the PlayStation on. That's the problem, is there's other distractions, which I've been trying to keep away from. Like I only played my PlayStation a little bit because I've playing quite a lot of it with my nephews last week, but it's the easier thing to do, and I've not been sleeping a lot, so I've been like today I didn't sleep much at all today. It's getting frustrating because for some reason I just cannot sleep. It doesn't matter how tired I am, I can't sleep. So I don't want to go to a doctor and get him to prescribe me anything, because I'm not, ever since, I mean, with the problems I had with my blood pressure, I was having headaches and whatever all the time. So I was taking Nurofen to get rid of headaches, but since I've been dealing with my blood pressure and just getting it sorted out, I haven't had headaches as much. In fact, I don't think I've taken any kind of painkiller tablets now in over a year, so that's probably done me really good as well. Like last night when I went to bed about 2 o'clock this morning, because I was at the club and I got in and I watched a bit of TV. I got in about midnight from the club, I think. Watched a bit of TV, had something to drink, and just fell asleep a bit on and off, and then decided to go to bed about 3. I woke up at, I think it was about 6, half 6, with the cramp in my leg again. I don't know why that's back, but it's frustrating as hell. And yeah, I didn't really get back to sleep after that. I think I dozed for about an hour here and there. And then my mum come back with the shopping, and I came back upstairs, and I think I had about another half hour or so. And that's the point I decided to give up trying to go to sleep. So went downstairs, had some lunch, and just decided to come off here and record this and paint. And it's not a good thing painting when you're not 100% awake, but I'm awake enough now that I'm okay. I've had some lunch and I had a bit of a doze, so it's fine. Just wish I could have like a good 8-hour sleep. Like everyone says, oh yeah, I can't do without 8 hours sleep, and I'm like, wow, 8 hours sleep, that's like 2 days sleep for me. So yeah, it's frustrating. But what can you do? Short of going to the doctor and getting some stuff, I'm not going to do that. So I'm stuck. I'm just having to deal with it. Hopefully next week things will work a bit better. With me being off, I can sleep more at a normal time rather than go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I've always find when I'm off at the weekend, I generally sleep better. Because I can go to bed at a decent time rather than a silly o'clock in the morning time. And that's the downside of working nights. But if you work nights, you'll always find that you still don't, like, as soon as you're back onto being able to fall asleep in a normal sleep pattern, you fall back into it really quite easily, if you can actually get to sleep, that is. And since I've probably put you all to sleep now, yeah, that's probably really made everyone enjoy this chat, but there you go. So I'm just putting the first layer of flesh down on this guy. So them two are done now. And now I can go back to Sigmund again, because his shade should be finished and dry. And I'll have a bit of a drink before I do that, but once I cleared my palette. I actually meant to give my nephew the palette pads that I have lying around somewhere, and I forgot. And he was supposed to look at my paints and see what paints he wanted as well, but I'm sure he can do that this week. Right, so Sigmund. So for the next stage of his skin, I'm going with Kislev flesh. Kislev, whatever it is, the Russian flesh. It sounds like a Russian name anyway. It's not. It's from the old empire. All of these paints, they have names from the different universes that Games Workshop revolves around. So some are from old Warhammer Fantasies, some are from AOS, Age of Sigmar, and some are from 40k. And you even got some from 30k, but I believe they're discontinuing them. That's from what I've heard. But yeah, it's so when you hear these really weird names, that's where they come from. They're all names of fantasy places and stuff like that. So let's get Sigmund again. And this time we just want to pick out the really raised details. May have watered the paint down a little bit too far, but it's actually coming out fairly cool. Now, generally speaking, I don't paint eyes on models because of how bad I am at doing it. It's different with like my Necrons. Their eyes are quite simple because they're just like a glowing light. But on humanoid models, I don't do it. So he's okay, he's not looking too bad. He will need another layer of flesh shade watered down again, but that's cool. And then I'll do the final highlight on him. Maybe get that done today. I've got another 15 minutes or so. So probably not, but we'll see. But what we can do is we're going to treat these two guys like I have with Sigmund and put another layer of shade down on them. Right click on flesh shade, that's it. And there's no exact science to doing this. This is just a judgment call as to how much water to paint you use. And because that's what I'm using, it's a bit of ink or shade, and then some water thrown in it as well. Just thins down the shade a bit. I want it to thin down a little bit more than that. That should be enough. And again, I can't use my shade brush for this one because it's I don't want to use that much ink. So just going with my number 1 brush. And we're just going to give it an all over shade, and it's just a very thin glaze. I've not been on camera for practically the whole video, but it's okay. I don't know if people actually watch this or just listen anyway, so. This video might not go up today. It might go up on the Wednesday rather than the Tuesday because, like I said, I've left it a bit late in the day to record it, and it's got to render to my laptop, and then it's got to upload to YouTube, so it may be tomorrow by the time it uploads. But I can leave it uploading while I'm playing PlayStation with my nephews. Yeah, this brush is a bit worse for wear at the moment. It's just got one hair that's like not sitting right on the brush, but it shouldn't cause too much of a problem for getting this shade done. Okay. And then we're just going to put the shade on Sigmund again. Really want to water it down a lot this time, so it is really thin. And so yeah, it's getting close to the time when I'm going to have to look at finishing the video. I want to do one more thing with his sword, if the ink's dry on his sword, which it should be now. It's been about 20 minutes since I've done that, I think. The inks are a bit different to the paints. They take a lot longer to dry. Yeah, it's more or less dry. So I like that you can actually read what it says on the sword now. But what I'm going to do is just give it a bit of a blue edge. I'm going to do this, get these paints out without actually knocking my Predators off the desk. These Predators, hopefully I'm going to get them spray painted the next couple of days. We'll see. So with this glaze, it's a bit too strong for me at the moment, so I'm going to have to water it down a bit. So just a bit of water, a bit of glaze, a little bit more water I think. Okay. It's just basically the sword is the feature part of the model. Because of what the sword is, it's quite a powerful sword in 30k. So I want to make it stand out from the actual model himself. So just giving it this blue glaze, it won't distract too much. It will just tint the grey bits and give it a bit of a bluey shine. And I would say that's more or less his sword finished. I've got to do some details on the handle, but the blade's finished now. It gives it a almost obsidian look, which is what his blade is supposed to be, I believe. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for today. I know it's only been a short video, and I'm sorry for that, but things happened. So yeah, I'm going to carry on painting for another hour or so, probably, or I might doze off for a bit. But thank you very much for watching and listening, if you have watched and listened, and I will catch you again same time next week. Goodbye.